Live. We are live in another Business Players Live, and I'm with a friend today, okay, and a huge guy that I just look at this guy and we motivate ourselves like one to each other, and it's amazing. But before I introduce this guy, I'm very excited, and I just gotta say it again in case some of you guys missed it in the channel and all over the place. I'm doing a challenge with Luz Cabrera, the previous guest speaker. We're gonna do a 1 year challenge to get to $100,000 a month in a year. Okay, so if you guys want to watch that, it's gonna be insane. So you have to start tuning in to YouTube, subscribe, like the channel and everything. And now, without further ado, we got my friend here, Brandon Gaydorus. So I'm gonna tell you about this guy. Okay, he helps clients create purpose and increase profits through one-on-one coaching. But that's not all that this guy does. Okay, he does live events. In fact, we're gonna be talking about a little bit about one that he's got in Connecticut going on next month, and it's gonna be insane. You can't miss it. And he's been doing personal development books and other books. He's I believe 4-time author, right? Okay, I got it right. Cool. And so Brandon right now, he's in an amazing journey of he's trying to help 21 business owners to get to $21,000 for free until he reaches the goal, and then he was gonna tell you more about that. And since we met, he told me about that, and I'm like, wow, man, that's cool. But he's got bigger goals, and I'm not gonna like spoil you right now with the big goals. I'm gonna let him do that, but I'm telling you, it's got something that he's gonna do because I know he will, and he's gonna change the world as we know it, especially in business. So without further ado, thank you, man. Welcome, Brandon Gaydorus, my friend. This guy, good-looking dude. On top of
that. Well, thanks, Jose. It's always an honor to be able to speak with you, to hang out with you,
yes,
and to try and bring value to as many people as we can. So appreciate your trust in me on this call.
Man, you always do. You always bring massive value to my stuff. That's why I keep bringing you. So how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We just sold out the VIP tickets for the conference, so that's very exciting. It's
nice.
It's been about 8 weeks of promoting. I think in business, a lot of people want to be successful, but very few are willing to put in the work necessary to get the attention that your business needs to succeed. And you know better than most people how important it is to promote. And when you promote for yourself, your business, more people start promoting for you.
Yes, they see the grind. Like, let me tell you a quick story how I met this guy. So we were in the 10X Growth Conference, the biggest entrepreneurship conference in the world last year, and that's where we met. And he introduced me to one of my biggest clients today. And we're, and they're doing amazing. And we both together, we couldn't have met if it wasn't for this guy. So what happens is that you connect with people. And that's what this A to B conference, like half of it or even more, is going to be about. But Brandon is going to tell you all about it. But before we get into the event, man, because I want this is about you, man. This is going to be awesome because you're going to get to know more about this guy. I know about this guy. I don't know everything. I do want to know everything. But this guy, he's got a mind that God bless his mind because it's very, like, I would really like to know what's in it, like, really. So tell us more, man. Tell us more about you and about your story.
Yeah, so one of my favorite things in the world has been studying success. It's just one of the most fascinating things to me. So when I was 20 years old, I got introduced to network marketing. And I found out that I didn't like the network marketing part of things, but I loved the personal development side of things.
Nice.
So I started reading books like The Compound Effect. Yeah, I remember picking up Think and Grow Rich. And I started to realize that you could start to design the life that you want if you're willing to put in the necessary effort to do so. So I started thinking about like, what do I actually want? And at 20 years old, I met a guy through a seminar. So I was at a conference, little seminar thing, and he explained how he wanted to be the best in the world at what he did. So he learned, observed, and shadowed um, the top 10 people at his specific field. And he's had a very successful life. He's in his 70s now. And if you were to sit down and have coffee with him, you'd be like, wow, you've done some stuff. And
Yeah.
so I applied that to my life, and it really worked. I started getting exposed to the top people in my industry at a very young age. They would just literally take me under their wing. They would send me the stuff that they've put together to be able to get to where they are. They told me who to intern for. They told me what I needed to do. And then at 26 years old, I got voted top 50 in America for what I do, which is golf fitness training. And I had worked pretty much the last 9 years towards that. So when that happened, I was like, all right, this is awesome, but it didn't fulfill me.
Right.
So I made a decision that while I continue to do the golf fitness, I am going to build a bucket list business. And eventually that's going to be my main business. And so it's starting to turn more and more into fruition. And the whole idea behind that business, Warm Heart Life, is to grow together with as many people as possible, because the principles of success are the same no matter what the industry are. So I work with all different types of people because what I help them out with is their personal, professional, and financial goals. And no matter the industry, no matter the business, if you have personal, professional, and financial goals, you're probably going to be more fulfilled. You're probably going to make more money, and you're probably going to have more freedom to do the things that you want in life with the people that you want in life.
Yes. Before we started, guys, I was telling Brandon, like, if your life sucks, you're probably not gonna do well in business. Not that anyone's lives here suck, okay? Not it's not that. It's just we were just talking about. I don't really know what we were talking about, but like the it really is true. Like every time I have a problem and I don't go and solve it, whatever it is, if you're married, you discuss with your wife, whatever it is, then you go and you do your job and you try to manage your business and it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. You're all over the place, so you can't focus and it's crazy, man. Like this question, you kind of already like gave us a little bit of it, but like what made you decide to become a business owner? I know you already gave us a little bit about
No, that's a good question.
Yeah, but like what was it that you said, like, because you could have just played golf and help other people or just work for other companies or whatever, but what made you think like, shit, I gotta be my own business, like I gotta have my own business? What was it for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't get asked that one much, and I don't talk about that much. So I'm glad you asked that question. So I was I was working inside from like 22 to 25. I was working inside a business that is the first weekend I knew it was a failing business. I could just tell it was like the most obvious thing. But it was a newer business and they had a lot of money put into it. So it was a really nice facility. And
Okay.
so I had moved up from West Palm, Florida to go work there. So I'm like, okay, well, I already made this decision. I got to stick it out. So the last year, I had known I wanted to leave, but I wanted to do it ethically, and I wanted to continue to work with a lot of the people I worked with. So because of non-competes and stuff, I didn't feel comfortable just leaving and taking my clients. So for the last year, I knew I knew it was failing. So what I did is I would just stay there in my off hours and I would just study why it was failing. Like I would call the companies that they owed money to. I would figure out like how much they actually owed. I would hear about the different things from the companies that would work with the company I was at, and why things weren't paid, what their experience was like. And I pretty much did the opposite. I learned what not to do in business.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's funny.
Yeah, so I was very curious, and I had learned a lot that year about many different things because I pretty much had an opportunity to take over some leadership to make sure the place didn't like crumble into the ground.
Mm,
And
wow.
I didn't have any stake in the company. I didn't have a title, but I would just go into the office. I'd spend time on the computer. I'd listen to people's problems. I'd try and do the best I could to help um, the business, but also learn why they were failing. And so I was going to either go work for a mentor after that down in North Carolina, or I was going to go work on my own.
Hmm.
And I thought about it for a week, and I went 4 days where it was like, okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna do this on my own. And I had 3 days where I was like, I'm gonna go move to North Carolina and work for my mentor. And I just said, yeah, I talked to my mentor that next week, and he said, Brandon, if you are indecisive, if you're not totally sure, my gut will typically say that you should go for it. You should go for it in business. And this is a guy who really wanted me
Wow.
to work for him.
Is
And
that is that Ken, Brandon?
no,
No.
this is Chris Finn down in North Carolina, and I'll never
Okay. Okay.
forget that. And what I ended up doing is I hired him as a business coach to help me
Wow.
get started in business.
Nice.
And so it was that guy Chris. He's such a humble guy, and for him to say, Brandon, like I think you should give it a shot. You know, when he was like going out of his way to try and get me to work for him, I was like, okay, I guess that's a sign. And it was cool to actually pay him back by actually paying him as a coach to get me started.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so that's how I made my decision to go in business, and the rest was history. That was in 2018, the end of 2018.
Man, so tell us about that advice because I've never heard that. So Chris said if you're undecisive, right? That's what you said. You should go for you should go for it in business. That's what he said.
Yeah, in my situation, he's like, from my experience, like he's a young guy. He's probably like 35, but he's very experienced in the business world, and I've known him for years. And he said, from my experience, when decisions happen like this, typically you want to go with the one that you favored a little bit more, and that, in your case, was starting the business. So he said, I think that you should give it a shot. And I said, okay.
And here we are, man. And you've
and
been doing great.
and
That's awesome.
what was cool is 2 years later, or a year and a half later, I was on the same list as him as top 50 golf fitness trainers in America. So it worked
Wow.
out for both of us.
Wow. Wow. So Chris also was in the golf industry, but like okay, and you guys don't know Brandon like I do, and unless you've been in the past events that we've done and you've seen him speaking and you know more about his background, but he's big into finding your mentor, how to get from A to B, which is the name of his conference, right? And of course, like just finding that person that you can learn from that has already achieved the level of results that you want. So Brandon, this is a question I've never asked anyone, but it just came out in the thing because it's what you're talking about on your coach, right? So how good was having a coach when you were starting and you didn't really like know what you were doing, but you had that figure there to guide you and to ask questions to. Because me myself, I'm also thinking right now about like spending $1,400 a month in coaching for a good coach that I mean, this guy's like, remember the book Scale?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about these guys. So what how good was it for you at the beginning, and what do you think it would have happened to you if you didn't go for the coaching with Chris?
I think it was, I wouldn't say it was everything, but I think it was pretty close to everything. I mean, because there's so many things that you don't know. There's still so many things I don't know now. Like
Yeah.
I pay a lot of people money to for the knowledge that they can give me to save me from making mistakes and get me to point B
Yes.
faster. um,
100%. Yeah.
so I mean, just by, and I've worked with a lot of coaches, but I remember Chris was a big part of getting me started. And then my mentor, Tom Plummer, both of them were super influential because they helped me understand how to model a business, you know, how to get payments, you know, all that. There was one thing I knew is taking care of people. I knew how to do that, but I didn't know a lot of the business sides of things, and especially the financial stuff. So that
Mm.
really helped me stay organized. I remember I during that year I asked Chris because I went and visited him. I think that summer. I said why is this business failing that I'm working inside of? And without even like looking at anything that they've done, he said, Brandon, just from what you've told me in the short amount of time, I can already tell you it's just because they don't know their numbers. He said most
Mm.
businesses that are failing just don't know their numbers. And I was like, oh, you know,
Wow.
so him saying that was super helpful to me actually being able to see my numbers each month and seeing like, hey, am I profiting money? Am I losing money? And you know what is when you're a single member LLC? What is actually making it?
Yeah. Wow. So he saw it immediately. And this is the same, you were working in this company and the same model of business that you started doing or and that Chris was doing, right? Because you were employed there, but you were working there and then you started another business like theirs, right? Something like that. Am I right or no?
Yeah, kind of. Like I started the LLC while I was still getting paid at the other company, and I'm glad I did because I was kind of doing some stuff on the side. So
Hmm.
that was very helpful. I didn't realize how long it takes to actually get the LLC set up and like get get your forms and get the business credit cards and the
Yeah.
bank accounts and all that stuff. So
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, you know that, and you know what a lot of people don't know is the company that I was at, the reason I left was because they didn't pay me the last like month and a half or something. Like they owed me like 10 grand.
What?
So
Shit.
and
Terrible,
so
man.
that it was easy for me to leave after that because you know they didn't pay
Yeah.
me the money that was owed. And
Wow.
you know the joke was on them because you know the money came back to me pretty quickly.
Right, right. With your own business. So it led you to go ahead, jump off the bridge and start doing your thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know that holiday season. I don't think I've ever seen better because I left in November, and that holiday season, I don't think I've ever seen more generous gifts given from my clients than that year.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And dude, like like our audience here, they're small business owners or they're just starting or they're like those tips that you're giving them about, you got to know your numbers, all of that, you know, like luckily I have my mom who's my administrator and she helped me in so many things, but she's already like she was the general manager of a huge company and she would like do everything in the company in the entire country, and she was the head of the entire thing. So I'm very lucky, but not everyone has that. And this is great advice just to, maybe you're not an expert, but you're looking you're looking out for what's going on with the numbers, where I'm spending my money. Am I making more money than what I put out? And I just had a video that you guys here, if you're live watching this, you should all watch. It's about speed in business. You need to be faster so you make more money and you repeat and repeat instead of like thinking too much and not executing and stuff. And speed is everything in business. And so, dude, what challenge did you have when you were starting? You quit your job, and you got Chris now on your team, that which was great. But what challenges did you have at the beginning that you can share with these guys watching us that are going to start, so they don't make the same mistakes?
Yeah, I think that one of the things I struggled with was finding an accountant, that I could trust and that I could really grow with. I think one thing I didn't realize was how important the accountant was towards your
Yeah.
business actually getting set up, and not only set up but like up and running.
Yeah.
So that was probably the biggest thing. Like before you start a business, start talking to accountants. Like start asking people if they know accountants that are trusted, and because that accountant can save you a lot of time, and you of course you have to pay them, but that accountant could save you a lot of time, energy, and effort. Like a lot of this stuff you can do on your own, the LLC setup, you can file your taxes on your own, but you're also running a business. So it's like, how much time do you want to devote to that, versus the time that you can put towards generating leads and
Yeah.
then converting those leads, and then getting continued business so you can get the business cash flowing.
Exactly. Got it. Yeah. So that the first person kind of on your team was that, well, it was Chris, right? But that was that accountant that would help you out, so you could just concentrate on executing, right? And just let them do the numbers.
Yeah. Well, yes. But like, just like, I mean, there was so many things from like ID numbers. Like I was like, I didn't know any of this stuff. Like, in business, you have a tax identification number, right?
Yeah.
Just like you have a social security number for yourself. Like I had no idea what that was.
Right.
And then you start, you know, working with the banks and all these things, and it's like, you get asked that number all the time. It's like, oh,
Right.
but an accountant could set that all up for you.
Yes. Okay, man. That's really wise advice. It's not, and guys, it's not usually the advice that someone would give. Is like it's an advice of someone that, like I told you, like this guy, his mind is just like this guy. He's very centered, as you can tell. Like he's relaxed. He's talking to all of you, and he's all relaxed. And I'm more like, like fighting. Like that's my thing. But no, you see this guy. He thinks like his approach is more like smart moves, relax, know what's going on, and then attack, right? Brandon, like, what can you tell to these people that they're thinking about starting? Like, what should someone do when they're starting and they
Ooh,
don't know
great
what to
question.
do? They're all like, they're well, probably they're probably frustrated. Like I was when I decided to start my business, and you didn't even get paid, me neither. That's why I actually took the leap too. They owe me a month and a half or something like that. And the craziest thing is that it's very similar to your story, because these guys, they were also getting into bankruptcy, and they didn't pay me, and then I left, and then they didn't pay me for a month and a half. And as if you live as almost every American lives, paycheck to paycheck, like that's a huge hit. And my mom was sick. It was insane. My wife was working in Jack in the Box, making just $8 an hour. Thanks God, like we're not there anymore, because it was so frustrating, man. And if you're in that situation, not to say that that's terrible. It's terrible if you feel bad about it. If you know that you can do more or you want more, then it's bad. But if you feel okay, that's okay. But you're probably not watching this show if you're like that. Probably. But
Yeah.
so what would you tell these people, man? They don't know the path. They're confused. They don't know what to do, and they're scared as fuck.
Yeah. Well, you're asking really good questions today, because if I
Thanks,
knew
man.
this,
They
I
do.
can't even, if I knew what I'm about to say, I can't even imagine the growth that I would have had, starting out. But the biggest thing is to figure out what that point B is. Like, how are you ever going to get the success that you want if you don't know what it is? How are you ever going to hit the numbers that you want if you don't put a target? How are you going to know when to scale if you don't know what you're scaling?
Yeah.
uh,
Wow.
so the best advice I can give is to figure out what that point B is, both personally, professionally, and financially.
Yeah.
And you should do that through 10 3 and 1 year goals, or some people do 5 3 and 1 year goals. And if you can do that, then you know what you're going for. But most people struggle in business because they don't think big enough. They don't know where they're going,
I love
right?
it.
You know,
Yes.
you talk to Jose and you hear his goal, you're like, okay, you know, I could live with that.
Yeah. Dude, tell us now about your goal, and then let's talk about the A to B conference. Guys, it's going to be fucking insane. Excuse my language, fucking insane, okay? It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be speaking. All the other lineup is amazing. If you guys are watching, can't wait to meet some of you. I already think I know some of you guys, mostly from the internet, because, you know, we're all spread out throughout the US, which is awesome because then you go and like I've never been in Stanford, you know, I've never been in Connecticut, actually. I think no, I don't think so. And I'll probably go there, and I'm gonna also meet New York, which I've never met either. So it's cool. It's really cool, and you make this great connections. Like Brandon is not just here speaking uh, in my thing, and he's spoken in my other events, so we collaborate a lot. But this guy is a friend. This is the guy that, yes, like I have almost all his books that are relevant to what I do, because he sent them to me, and he took the time, and he put an amazing note that, like, I was like, this guy, like, he's a friend. He's a real friend. And I invited him to my event, and he sent me a letter. Like, I'm just letting you know, not because you know I love this guy and he's the best, but also so you learn, like, to make connections and you know, and give to people. This is all what it is about. Like, you give to people, and you know, like, they appreciate it, and then they want to do business with you, and then they want to invite you to your events. And I don't even know, like, why he invited me to his event, because he's done more for me than I've done for him. but I don't know. But the guy is a giver. Like, he just keeps giving me. He's like, one day Jose will give me something. And I'll do, man. I'll do. I'm figuring it out. Okay. But tell us now about the conference, dude.
Yeah. So I'll touch on the conference, but there's one thing that you said I really want to hit on, the importance of it. It's outflow equals inflow. The more that you put out to the world, the more that you're going to start to receive back to you. And I learned that from Beyond Positive Thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, if you keep giving, if you keep putting in the work, if you keep doing the right things, the money is due to follow. So at my conference, that's a big thing I'm going to talk about, is like I already know I'm going to be wealthy. I know
Yeah.
I'm going to be very, like, it's just the only thing that would stop that is if I were to die or a health reason, right? Like, I
Yeah.
know I'm going to be wealthy, right? It's just it's it's gonna happen. Like, I just know it. And
Yes.
I don't want to be wealthy by myself. I want to
Right.
be wealthy with a great group of people, that we got wealthy together, right? We
Yes.
went through the journey together. Maybe we had different businesses, maybe we did different things, but we did it together. So a big reason why I have these conferences, I go through all the effort to do it, is because we can get wealthy together. We can make a lot of money together. We can share a lot of cool experiences together. We can knock things off our bucket list together. And
Right.
it's a heck of a lot more fun to make it to the top of the mountain with a group of people than if you were to climb it yourself and there was no one there to celebrate with.
Yeah.
So
Man, I'm with
so
you.
so, you know, at this conference, we're going to take a lot of time to think about what is our point B. Like, where is that? Where is that point B? Where do we want to be with it? And then how can we actually make sense of achieving that? And that's what the A to B conference is. And then after my talk about that, then we're going to have a variety of guest speakers from health and wellness to marketing to public speaking, to business, so that you can get a lot of different insight on how you can go from point A to point B in all aspects of life. and you're going to hear examples. There's going to be hands-on activities. A lot of people are like, well, what is personal development? Personal development is you taking time to work on yourself for the bigger and better future that you want, that you deserve, that you can have if you take that time to actually work on yourself. So that's what's going to happen at the A to B conference. We're going to think big. You're probably going to think bigger than you've ever thought before. Jose is a big thinker. That's why I want him talking on stage.
Thank you so much for inviting me, man. I'm so honored and I'm so proud of you, man. You're killing it. And, you know, like I do crazy shit, but I love hanging out with people that do other crazy shit and things that I haven't done yet. And then they're pushing you, because then you're like, well, so, you know, I did this virtual events and he's doing live events, you know, and I'm like, shit, I got to start doing live events. Or not necessarily if it doesn't fit your strategy, but at least you know that your friend is killing it, and that pushes you forward on your targets, on your stuff. And this guy, he does that to me, because not everyone, you know, believe it or not, that is in business and says that they're gonna do something, they actually do. Not everyone does, you know. A lot of people say something and they don't do it, or they just say it because they want to say it, and I don't really know why they do that, but a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and it's hard for people to a lot of time, like touching on what you were saying there about a lot of people say stuff and they don't do it. It's hard for people to make sense of going to a personal development event if they've never gone before. But one of the things that changed my life was I went to a personal development event. It was a fun one. They had stuff at night, then, you know, conference room during the day. But I'll never forget this. He had us write down a goal or two. I wrote down 2. And then he said, what you're going to do is you're going to say that to another person. And you're going to start putting that out there to the world. And I just remember like it was yesterday saying that goal. And then all of a sudden, I think it was like 5 months later, that goal came to life. Like my one of the goals I put was to speak in front of 50 people. I'm 23 years old, so that was a big goal, to speak in front of 50 people.
Yeah.
And I was 23 years old at the time. So I wrote that goal down, and I didn't know anything about goal setting. I didn't know anything about goal execution. I just saw that goal and I was like, okay, well, if that's my goal, I'm going to have to start working on it like right now. And I realized how important that thought was the more and more I execute on goals and help people execute on theirs, because Grant Cardone says, if your goal is not hard enough where you have to work on it every day, then it's probably not going to be very engaging. It's probably not going to mean that much once you achieve it. But if it's so hard that you have to work on it every day to achieve it, then it's probably something that's going to make something out of you. And it's probably something that's going to excite you to keep going after. And, you know, next thing I knew, in November of 2016, I had a room just packed with people. I'll never forget seeing that picture, people outside the door looking in. And, you know, it's just crazy to think how a personal development event made all of that come true. But that's what happens when you get around like-minded people. There's something that happens that put, like Jose, I tell this story all the time. Jose's motivation, and the example that he sets to continuously get business and take care of his customers, and make sure that he does everything he can to attract the right people that he can help in his business, inspires me every day. Like just spending time with Jose for one weekend has inspired me for the last year and 2 months, right? Just seeing that. And I talk about my favorite poem all the time. Like, I thought I was good until I saw great. It was then when I understood what achieving my dreams would take. That weekend, I saw greatness from Jose, and that greatness was hustling to make some shit happen. And great can come in a variety of forms, but I saw greatness that day. I saw greatness, and that greatness helped me understand what I needed to do to go after the things that I want. And that's why we have 107 tickets sold for the A to B conference already, right? And the goal is 125, and we got a little less than 4 more weeks to sell those 18 tickets. But there's no way that would have happened unless I surrounded myself with people like Jose, who are also putting in the work, who can inspire me, who can help me like make sense of all this work that I'm putting in, because they're doing it in their business too, and I'm seeing the results that they're having, right?
Thank you, man. Thank you. And you know, he asked me, he told me, and he came to me and he sold me a ticket, right? And of course, I bought the ticket. And you know, he was telling me like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, sell all these tickets, because this is the biggest event that he's done, and he's learning from past experiences. And doing events, guys, is fucking hard. It's crazy, okay? It's really hard. Virtual, live, like whatever, hybrid, however you do it, is insane, okay? And you know, and he's still doing it. And even I said like, shit, I'm gonna hold on into these events because this is crazy, and I haven't done another one. I will probably, I don't know when, because you know the strategies don't fit the thing, but like he did it. He's almost there, and he still has a month. Like he could, and he's not gonna do that, but he could literally like rest on his laurels and just, you know, hang out with his friends and stuff. And he already almost sold the entire thing. Now he's gonna keep putting it out there, and he's gonna not just sell out, but I don't know if he's gonna like expand the thing. I hope he does, because maybe, you know, more opportunities will come in, because you never know. Like I hear a lot like people say like you should say no to a lot of things, and I think that's true. But a lot of good stuff happened to me that I never thought that were possible, was because I said yes. But dude, like okay, so now you tell us about your goal. Oh no, first finish here and tell us about the date of the event. Where is it gonna be? Location, how much is it? All of these things, and then tell us about your goal, please, because we all want to know about your goal.
Yeah, so the event is May 14th. It's from 2 to 6, and then 6 to 7 is the cocktail hour. So it's going to be a great place to meet people, enjoy the atmosphere, and working on getting some live music for that too. And then 7:30 is the VIP dinner. Those actually sold out, so that was $150, and then the executive is $40. So if you want to go to the event and the cocktail party, it's only $40. So you really can't beat that. And it's in Stamford, Connecticut. So for those of you who don't know where Stamford, Connecticut is, just think of New York City and 25 miles north of it. And
right.
And then so one of the reasons why I'm having this event is because my 10-year goal is to have 10,000 student universities in 10 of the best cities in America. Like the Nashville, Stamford, Connecticut, Fort Lauderdale, Texas, somewhere out west, maybe Arizona, maybe Las Vegas, maybe California. So all these different places, the goal is to have 10 of those all across America. And people say, well, what about past America? Well, listen, that's just my 10-year goal. You know, there's going to be other stuff that, you know, is set to happen more globally after that. But that's my 10-year goal. That's where I'm putting all my focus on. And I can't change the world. Jose can't change the world. Sue can't change the world. John can't change the world. Bob can't change the world. You name it. No one person can change the world. But we collectively can change the world. So
100%.
So if we can build greater communities, if we can help more people, those people can help other people. Those people can spread positive messages, spread positive vibes, and they can put out some incredible stuff to the world that can change the world. So that's my 10-year goal. And then my 1-year goal is to help 21 people get to $21,000 a month. And what they do is they meet with me once a week for 20 minutes. And the goal is to get 21 people there by the end of the year, and then 100 by 2 years from now, and then transition all of that credibility into a education system. So in 3 years, we want to have 100 graduates from the
Beautiful.
program.
Man, that's awesome. Let me tell you, man, you can change the world, because you're the king. You're this guy right here, man. You're the fucking king. This guy, he's gonna change the world. I'm telling you, he will, because this is what we're all lacking. Like when I started business, man, I had no idea. Oh, the good thing is at least I knew, and I knew sales, and I did know marketing a lot as well, and I was already like, helping other businesses make millions of dollars. Thanks God, because in fact, the way I got into marketing was like the business owner, the employer at the time, my employer, he told me like, Jose, why don't you try to make this Google ads, and then I'm like, okay, and that's what happened. And then, now it's 6 years in, and, and we've made millions of dollars to many companies. We don't even do marketing the same way anymore. What we do now is we build the marketing departments internally on the companies. So I'm like, I don't even want to do this for you guys if you don't, if you don't want to blow up the business, because I got tired of scarcity mindset and stuff like that. I don't want anyone like that in not that I'm not going to do business with you if you have a scarcity mindset, but not marketing, because that's like a whole different deal. It's insane. Dude, okay, now, thank you so much. Guys, go to the event. I'm going to be there. A lot of business players and non-business players. This is not just for business people. Of course, this channel is for business people. If you're watching this, you like business, you probably have a business, you have to go there, because you're going to learn how to, all of these speakers, they're lined up in a way that you will get throughout whatever challenges that you're going through, because the whole thing is A to B, A and then B. And the thing is, like, in my last event, I was selling this package that had a similar purpose of what Brandon is trying to do for you guys in this event, which was just, I remember that my B wasn't actually the B. It was a C, because I had a B on the middle, and then I had the C, and now I'm finally getting into the C part, but I had to go through a B, but not the final B, but actually the middle B, and there was a C in the middle. So a B in the middle and a C at the end. So I really struggled, guys. For a year and a half, I couldn't, I didn't know how to hire people. I didn't know a lot of things, especially at the beginning. You're gonna suck. Whatever you do, you're gonna suck at the beginning, especially in business. If your parents didn't have a business, you don't have anyone that would coach you. Like, for example, Brandon had the blessing of having Chris, and he helped him, and he's been part of a great environment, and he's learned about business people, and he also has that mindset of, if I don't know it and I want to do it, I'm gonna find someone that has done it, and not everyone has that. Like, this guy's super smart. Like, you probably are dumb like me. and a lot of people would tell me, like, Jose, you're a fucking genius. And I'm like, man, I just learn the stuff. I just learn the stuff and I apply it, or I find the answers. I don't know if that makes me smart or not, but I would say that anyone can do that, but maybe not. I don't know. But the thing is, like, guys, you have to go to this event, because you will find out a lot of the answers that are probably not that insane, but you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So if you don't go and find this information, guys, $40 is nothing. Brandon and I, we paid tens of thousands of dollars to learn from Grant Cardone, all these other huge gurus, and we're bringing you this information for $40, okay? And for free, because here we're talking for free here, okay? Nobody's paying here. Not even YouTube. Not even YouTube. YouTube, if you hear this out, please send us some money, because we're trying to help people. So send us some money. But it really is something that will help you, and we're trying to make an impact. And that's why, I keep doing these lives and bringing you good people like Brandon that want to do big stuff and that they are already successful. Top 50 golf trainer guy. He's already been succeeding in his career, his business, and now he's trying to bring that for everyone and give it out. And of course, he's also learning, but like he's got a bigger purpose, and that's getting him to blow up even more. But dude, what would you tell someone that like if you were to start all over again, what would you do differently? What would you tell someone that how would you do it differently this time, if you like kind of like undercover billionaire, but in a smaller scale probably?
Yeah, I would. That's a great question. I would figure out what that point B is. I would take as much time as needed to figure out like what is it that like I truly want. That is 100%, because if you know what you want, it's going to be a lot easier to get that. Right? If you don't know what you want, you're going to be constantly stressed. You're going to be trying to figure out. You're going to be penny wise and dollar foolish, right? And when you take time to think about that point B, it's just going to help everything. It's just going to help everything. But so many people want to just like get in the water. Then they're like, what am I doing? Then you're not sleeping. And I'm not saying you're not going to be stressed out when you know what point B is, because you will have moments of stress, but that's what happens in business. If you don't want to have any stress at all, then business is definitely not for you. I mean, but the excitement that you get from growing something, from the people that you're meeting, from overcoming the challenges, to me, it's a lot of fun, and you would probably agree.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, it's a journey, and you gotta. I think you gotta treat it with respect, but of course, have fun. Like, sometimes I forget about that. But one thing that has helped me so much, and that's what you're gonna learn in this conference. One thing that I have done now, because I didn't know this part, and Brandon didn't teach me this part, because I didn't even know Brandon like before. A year ago, I didn't know him, and I didn't read his book. Now you guys can go to his conference, read his books. You're lucky because you're watching us right now, and some people are saying, you are incredible. Let's grow online. Thank you for sharing this amazing information. And we got many people everywhere watching us. So thank you guys for being here. God bless you. If you didn't watch the whole thing, you can go back. It's going to be recorded on YouTube. And of course, Brandon is going to put it on his YouTube channel as well. So you guys can watch it and support, please, Brandon. And I will put in the comments the ticket link so you guys can get the ticket. $40. It's going to be amazing. But what I didn't have at the beginning is I didn't have the pathway. I didn't know what the B was, and I didn't know all of that stuff. Grant Cardone helped me a lot with that, but I didn't have a plan. And when you leave this event, you're going to have a freaking plan, and you're going to be able to execute, and you're going to be confident, because once you put it all out and you understand each thing and you know what it takes to do it, it becomes really, I mean, not easy, but like it's going to be simpler, and you're going to be able to look at it and know like, oh yeah, if I do this, I'm going to get closer to the goal. And now I do have that. And every time that I'm like confused, I have like a stack of paper like this. It's actually six pieces of paper, because I got a lot of shit. and then I look at it every time that something comes up, and I'm like, man, I don't know if this is the thing I should be doing with my time, because these are my goals. And I look at it and I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't be doing this. So it helps a lot to have that. Man, thank you for that. That was a great answer. And guys, go ahead. Sorry, man. What?
Can I put, yeah, just so just for the people watching, so you can have something that you can take action with that last statement, and with what Jose just said. So the second part of like actually like figuring out point B. Like, okay, if you're like, I don't know how to figure out how to get to point B, like, I don't really know what I do. Well, Jose recommended a book to me
Yeah.
called Scale. And in the very beginning of that book, it talks about the top 10 rule that I had learned from a mentor. So if you
Mm.
get that book, read it's at the very, very beginning of that book. It talks
Yeah.
about the top 10 rule. So who are the people at point B? And then just go start learning from them. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Like, who are those people that have some of the things that you want? Go start learning from them. And when you start doing that, you start figuring out more and more what it is that you want. Of course, like when you talk with someone like me, I'm going to help you break that down in a quicker way, in a clearer way. But
Yeah.
if you don't want to do that, think about who's at my point B, and now let me just go start learning from them. Let me
Yeah.
go start paying them as a coach. Let me start reading their books. Let me go shadow them for a day. And that's probably the best advice that I could possibly give.
Amazing advice, man. Always. This guy, he opens his mouth and only smart stuff comes out of it. It's amazing. Dude, like, what inspires you every day? I think I know the answer, but tell these guys why, like, what makes you do conferences, top 50 golf trainer stuff by Golf Digest, all of that. Like, what drives you every day?
Well, my mentor told me, I said, why do most people never get what they want? And he said, Brandon, most people never get what they want because they don't go after it quick enough.
Speed.
So speed, yeah, that's it. Exactly. Like, me and Jose, we have a very similar mindset. And it's cool. That's what happens when you get around like-minded people. You think a lot of the same things, just a little bit. You've had different mentors, you've had different experiences, maybe different businesses, but you start to realize the mindset is very similar. Like, me and Jose both understand that there's only one life that we have on this planet Earth, and it's up to you to be able to take advantage of that. It's up to you to be able to go after the things that you want,
Yeah.
and you're in control of that. So if you don't get the things that you want in life, it's your fault. so
Yes.
so
Yeah.
like so like I take full responsibility that if I don't get what I want, it's my fault. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lot of action every single day. I'm going to challenge myself every single day so I can see what can happen in life, so I can become that person that I was meant to be.
Beautiful, beautiful. Man, thank you so much for being here. We're not done yet. We have the last question, which is the killer question. Get ready, because this is the question that everybody waits for at the end. Thank you, dude, for being here. God bless you. You know, I love you. You're the best, man. And I know I'm going to be friends with this guy for forever. And we're gonna be like super fucking rich, and we're gonna do yacht races, like yacht, like not car racing, like yacht racing, you know. And yeah, and it's gonna be like a big whale against a big whale, like a huge whale, you know. It's probably not gonna be a yacht. It's probably gonna be an actual whale that we tame, or some shit like that. We buy the whale. I don't know, but it's gonna be insane. But dude, thank you for being here. Like always, you're the best. And I'm gonna bring Brandon again, and he'll tell you later, like, hey, you know, I've already done all of this stuff. What are you waiting for? Because you can watch this back in 5 years or whatever, and he's already done most of the stuff he's talking about. I'm sure of that. And so, guys, thank you for watching this. This is the last question. Get ready. So, dude, Brandon, what are 3 tips? Guys, get the papers and everything, and the pens. What are the 3 tips that you would give our audience? Remember, small business or people that just thinking about starting, of the best 3 tips that you can give someone to become successful in business.
Oh, that's a great question. These are some of the best questions I've been asked. So number one is you gotta think big to achieve big. That is number one. That is the first thing. You could study successful person after successful person after successful person, and you'll start to notice the most common thing is the big think. So many people in life limit what they can actually do because they get stuck in the how. Stop getting stuck in the how and focus on the what and the why. Like, what is that? Like, why do I actually want it? Oh, okay. Now, has someone done that before? Yes, someone has. Okay, so now I know it's possible. So let me do it. Right. And you figure out the how. Like, you figure, like, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Right.
But by thinking big enough, you'll start to get more excited. You'll start to make something out of yourself and make something out of the people that you impact. So that's number one, is to think big in order to achieve big. Number two is to come up with a clear focus. Come up with a clear focus. You are constantly in a whirlwind. There's so many things going on in your life. Um, Relationships, friends, family, romantic. Think about the amount of whirlwind that is going on in that. Work. There's so many things that go on. They're coming back and forth. You're getting curveballs thrown at you. Oh, this popped up. Okay, I got to do this now. Now I got to take 2 hours for this. Oh my God. Right. So you're going to be in this constant whirlwind, and it just doesn't go away. It won't go away. But what you can do is you can calm down the whirlwind by staying focused on what it is that you're actually going after. Every decision, or almost every decision I make professionally and actually personally too, is based on my two goals. Right. So I know that I want my Dream 7 interviews to happen this year. So the decisions I make are tailored towards that. Right. I know that I'm trying to get 20. My intention is to get 21 people to 21K a month. So the decisions I make are tailored towards that. So that is number two, is that to come up with a clear focus so you can calm down the whirlwind. And then number three, can I get four? Can I get four?
Man, do it. Over deliver.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I love
So and you'll have to give me this content, because this is some of the most valuable stuff that I could possibly share, is these four things. So
Oh yeah, you got it.
number three is, once you come up with a clear focus, you need to break that down into daily and weekly action steps so that you can figure out the how, so you can take the action necessary to move you closer to the lag measure, the long-term thing that you're going after. You have to break it down into daily or weekly tasks, and then you have to test that out to see if it's working or if it's not working. If you can figure out a way to do that, that's going to keep you more engaged, and that's going to help you utilize the speed that you need to utilize to get to what you want. And then the fourth thing is, you got to get more plus ones in your life. You have to get more plus ones in your life.
Explain that, Brandon. Explain the plus one stuff, because not everyone might understand it. Please.
Yeah. So 1 + 1 = 2. 1 - 1 = 0. 1 - 1 - 1 = -1. So if you want more positive people in your life, if you want to make more money, if you want to feel healthier, if you want all these things that everyone wants in life, the simple answer is to get more plus ones. Because if you have more plus ones, you're going to have a bigger network that can help you do all those things. Right? I have a trainer. Right? I am a trainer. I have a trainer. I'm a coach. I have coaches. Right? They're plus ones. They're helping me get to where I want faster. Plus ones will be the answer towards changing the world. Plus ones will be your answer towards figuring all the things that you don't know how to do out. My mentor, Grant Cardone, says, would you rather have a billion friends or $1 billion? And I used to think $1 billion, but very quickly did that shift when I learned, if you have $1 billion, there's also a lot of liability that goes on with that $1 billion, and you're going to need a network of people that can help you figure out what to do with that $1 billion. But if you have $1 billion friends, you have $1 billion connections in all these different industries. You can go wherever you want, when you want. You're going to have a massive audience to gain more income, to do more of the things that you want. Because think about this, if you have a billion true friends and they each give you $10, that's $10 billion.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So that, that's the biggest thing. See, you need to get more plus ones in your life if you want to be successful with your health, if you want to be successful with your wealth, if you want to be successful with your relationships, if you want to be fulfilled in life, you need to get more plus ones in your life. That is it. That's how simple it is. And at the A to B conference, there's going to be a heck of a lot of plus ones. You're gonna walk into that room and you're just gonna feel yourself being a new person. You're going to feel a way that you never felt before. Like people who work with me for the one-on-one coaching, when they start doing their goals, they're like, Brandon, I don't know what it is, but like, I just feel really good when I'm talking to you. But that's because that's what happens when you're focusing on stuff that could make you become the person that you deserve to be, that you want to be.
Yeah.
And it all starts with getting more plus ones in your life.
Yes, I think man, like when you have all these people, right, that they're minus ones. What has happened to me, right, in my life, and maybe or maybe if you hear this out, maybe you're like, shit, he's right, but you're not ready to take that take that step forward on either disconnecting with this, people that are not, like, they're toxic or whatever it is, but they're minus ones. Whatever the case is, they're minus ones in your life. And I think that you are not you, like you're being obscured, you're being like, like you're not yourself because of these people, because they don't allow you to be yourself a lot of the times. So you end up being someone else that is not you, because you're great. And then sometimes these minus ones, they come in, and they put a lot of garbage in your head, or you come up with this nice, great idea or your dream and you share it with the wrong people, and that pulls you down. No matter like how strong you are, it's gonna make you feel bad, even if you're like really strong. Like I'm like, me, even my family, my mom and my wife, they now work in the business. They would tell me negative stuff. Like, are you sure you're doing this? Like, you know what you're doing, all this other stuff. And sometimes it's because they want to protect you. But some people, they're just toxic as fuck. And they would tell you things, because they feel like you're if you do it, that they're going to have to move their asses, or they feel they don't want to see other people succeed. Like there's bad people too. Like, I don't think everyone is bad. I think even the bad people is good, but they have something going on in their brains, their hearts, whatever it is at the time. They need some help. But the thing is, like, if you have that people in your life, it's gonna be harder. So why not try to clean it up a little bit? And I've done that myself. And man, I cannot tell you like how good I feel now that I don't have. And a lot of these people, guys, they're fake people. Okay, they're not even there for like, you start doing big stuff and you start succeeding, they're not gonna be around to support you. They're not even gonna like and comment your posts. You start doing big shit and you'll see what's gonna happen, and you'll see who is there for you. Or like a lot of people say that when the hard times come, you find out who your friends are. That's because the real friends support you. So you see the people that like they just like they pop up. The ones that don't support you, they just pop up because you're asking for help. No one helps you, and you're like, this motherfucker, this motherfucker, this motherfucker, they're not my friends. And you discover that. But once you discover that, like, you stop hanging out with them, or at least spending this much time with them, because and that was what happened to me. I discovered that it was a one-way relationship, because if it wasn't for me going after them and telling them, hey man, I'm here for you and stuff, and then when I needed them, they weren't there for me. It was a one-way relationship, and I was the one maintaining the relationship. As soon as I just stop messaging them, they just disappeared from my life. And so it was me like doing the double effort, right? Like their effort to maintain the relationship and my effort. So it was a lot of time, an energy that I was spending for a non-fruitful relationship. Go ahead. I think you're like, you want to talk, man. I see it in
Yeah,
your face.
but you just made such a good point. Like, um, and I feel like this needs to be talked a lot about compared to cutting people out of your life. So I hear a lot of people say like, oh, I cut this person out of my life. I cut this person. You don't need to cut people out of your life. You need to get more plus ones in your life, and then the minus ones start disappearing, like Jose said. Because what you start to notice is the plus ones, right? They minus like all those minus ones. There's too much pluses going on that the minus ones just kind of disappear away, right?
Yeah,
And the minus ones will tend to attract around minus ones, but the plus ones will tend to attract around plus ones. So how about someone who wants to complain all day, right? Well, who are they going to call? I'm going to talk to someone else who wants to complain all day. You know, me and
right.
Jose, we want to be very wealthy. So you can clearly see we talk for over an hour and we get excited because we're trying to figure out how we can get more wealthy, how we can have more impact, how we can not only take what we know, but help everyone who's watching apply that so they can get wealthy too, so they can be a more plus one. And I talk about money a lot, but money is a measurement that you can have that it's a feeling of growing, right? I talk about relationships a lot too. They all directly correlate. Like if you want to live a better life, you have to get more plus ones, and the minus ones will just start to disappear. You don't need to cut people out of your life. They will cut themselves out of your life.
Yeah,
You don't need like you just need to get more plus ones in your life. That's
right.
it.
Yeah, yes. And and with what I said, and if you have some hate, leave it in the comment. That's fine with me. But like, if what I wanted to say is not like you're just gonna cut people off, right? And that's not what Brandon is saying either. They're gonna leave like he said, but you're gonna find out that you just, hey, I don't have time to spend with these people. I'm not going and doing bad stuff to them so they disconnect with me, or I'm going and after them and telling them you suck because you didn't support me, or no, they just don't support me. I stopped spending as much time because I realized they're not plus ones, right? And you thought they were plus ones because whatever, like we got educated like that, so we don't really know who is who or whatever. I don't know what the deal is, but we didn't know they weren't plus ones. We thought they were plus ones, or maybe they were for a little bit, or they did something and then it confused us, right? And then we stick around with them for a little bit, and then we're like, shit, this guy's not a plus one. Like I need to, like give me my time, and I'm gonna put it towards someone that is a plus one, and then they just disappear because the minus one will not go and be with you. And more like Brandon said, like if you're doing plus one activities or plus two, plus three activities, these guys, they're gonna be like, oh man, I need to be with someone else that is bitching. And not to say that I'm, like Brandon is my friend. I'm sure that I go to him, and not that I do it a lot, but like I go to him and I start bitching. But this guy will bring me up. He's not gonna be like, oh, dude, you should quit that business. You should quit all your dreams because dreams suck, man. I had a dream, and I wanted to be a dancer, and I had to quit on it because I couldn't do it or whatever. Like, no, you want someone like Brandon teaching you how to get from A to B. So talk about powerful friends that you can just call and they will bring you up, and not just bring you up emotionally and mentally, but they will also give you the roadmap. Like Jose, don't worry, man. Just figure out your goals. Like imagine if you had Brandon in your corner. You're fighting the fight of life and business, and you got someone cool like Brandon Gaydorus that he's backing you up and he's telling you, dude, you're fucking this shit up, but you can keep going. And not just that, but also here's how you're gonna make it. Like that's awesome, man. That's a good friend to have. Not that's a plus 10 friend to have. So, man, thank you so freaking much, man. I love hanging out with you, and we're gonna hang out in Stanford, which I'm very excited for. you guys, we want to hang out with you. If you're watching this, it's gonna be in the comments. Sorry, in the description for Instagram. Sorry, for YouTube. If you're watching from Facebook, I'm gonna leave it in the comments. On LinkedIn, same thing, comments, and Twitter as well. Anything else you want to say before we end this off, my friend? Thank you so much, man. God bless you.
I'm super excited to hang out with you in a month. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for you to meet a lot of my friends. So because there's just an incredible community that we have growing, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. This call got me pretty pumped up. So I hope everyone watching, I hope you got a lot of value. Thank you for watching. It really, really means a lot. And thank you, Jose, for having me on.
Man, thank you. And yes, I can't wait. And I'm sure your friends are awesome. And I'm sure that I am going to meet meaningful people that hopefully they're as cool as you, or better. And this is how you guys get into you gotta get into the right room with the right people that are cool people, and that they're gonna contribute into your winning, into your goals, into your B. Not you're in the A. You don't want to go through B and C. You're gonna go from A to B. That's what the conference is about. And these are all amazing experts, including obviously Brandon, myself. And look at the lineup. I don't know if you can see the Brandon has it in the each corner. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and Brandon. So there's 10 people, right? 10 people, Brandon?
Yeah, and we got a couple of surprise guests.
Yes. Oh, and surprise. Okay. Yes. So guys, you gotta come in. It's gonna be insane. If you're there, and Brandon, I was already talking with another client of mine, and she's like, "Shit, I'm going." And there's people here in the comments, and they're saying, "Thank you for sharing this amazing information. Can't wait to see that incredible event with you. I love it. Thank you, guys." Yeah, I don't know where this one is from. We're new in this new platform, but it's awesome. We can live stream everywhere at the same time. But thank you, Brandon, dude. God bless you. Thank you for your time. We spent an hour here, but it was a powerful, impactful hour. And people will watch this forever, and they'll get a lot of value. I know, because like some of these things that we've been talking about for free, like I've had to go through hard times just to figure them out. Not like, the friends one, it's very personal, but it's very strong. Like, like the minus ones. Like that concept, and by the way, he invented that concept. This guy, isn't he smart? Like simple, like super simple, minus and plus, and he put a 1, and that's it. And you're like, shit, if you don't get it, man, you're done.
It's funny because the last conference, that has been the number one takeaway that people have said was the +1 concept. So it's and I've just been kind of trying to portray that to more and more people, because it seems to be catching on. Like people are like, yeah, I just need to get more +1s. Like you're right about that +1s. Like it's been awesome, Yeah. And it's really like my goal with personal development is to simplify it to people so that they can take immediate action to be able to develop that life that they want and deserve.
Yes. And guys, you want to become, if you feel like you're not 100% a +1, you want to become a +1 for your meaningful others, like for your family, for your friends, for everyone. In the future, if you're a +1, you'll surround yourself with +1s, because, and I don't remember where I listened to this just now, like lately, and this person said, like, you are the person that you surround with you. And we always hear this, right? But he said it in a way like you are them, like literally you are hanging, like you heard Brandon saying, like, Jose and I, we're so connected and we talk about the same stuff all the time and we think the same. It's because we're almost like not the same people. Of course, we're not the same person, but like, we just hang out with people that are really like almost identical in many ways than us. Like they're very similar and they think almost the same stuff. And even some of these things that I say and he listens to, and he's like, I don't know how he came up with that, because he found himself that same answer in his own way, and I did in my own way. So it's so crazy, like how everything is like interrelated. It's insane. Because
you want to know, like, well, one thing that's getting me even more and more excited for this conference.
What's up? Tell me.
I met this guy at GrowthCon, and he, very humble guy. You would never know that his business did 30 million last year with a
Wow.
pretty decent profit. And he's just such a good guy. And I'm talking to him on the phone because I followed up with him like 4 or 5 days after the conference, and he said, "Brandon, you're the first person to follow up with me since GrowthCon. I'm glad you called, because
That's awesome.
you know, I was telling my partner that you know, we need to follow up with people from the concept or the conference." And
Yeah.
so I'll never forget what this guy told me that night. He said, you know, this guy he's 34 years old. His business did 30 million. And he said, "Brandon, I don't always have that much fun when I'm hanging out with very wealthy people who have made it, because a lot of the conversations are just about their wealth. But when I hang around people like you, who are growing, who are doing some stuff, who are creating some momentum, I get super inspired. I get super excited. And I'm like, wow, we are really doing something special by going after the things that we want, because very successful people, they can make more money than us, but we can inspire them, which is more valuable than, you know, potentially, you know, giving them any advice on business. Because why would I give someone who's got $30 million business? Why would I give them business advice? What I can do is I can inspire that person, and that inspiration could lead to them doubling their income.
Yes.
Right?
Like, you know, I'm coaching right now this girl Luz, because we're doing this YouTube show, man. We're gonna start on May, Brandon, and we're gonna get her business from almost nothing to 100K a month in a year. Okay.
Let's go.
Yes. It's gonna be amazing. She's in San Francisco, so I'll go there. We're gonna record the whole thing. I mean, not the whole thing, but like, you know, and we're recording our calls and everything, and it's gonna be insane, because I really want to give more that usually what you see in these shows, because I see that there's a lot of points where people is like, okay, how the fuck did he do it? Like, you know, they're like, okay, he did it. That's awesome. It inspires me. But like, how the fuck did he do it? But like, man, it's so true that you already have that. And I was telling her, like, I already have some, not, of course, like, it's nothing compared to what I want, but I've achieved some success. But I've gone through a lot of a struggle to find the answers. And I told her, like, at this point, it's not like I'm not hyped up. I am. And you know me, most of the time I'm like, you know, let's fucking go and stuff. But I am not as when I started. When I started, dude, I was sleeping 2 hours, and it was like, you know, I don't know how I was doing it, man. You know, so if you can get some of that back, you know, if you're already successful, that is a huge win, because with that mentality, that fire, you can go and move mountains, right? Now, without the knowledge, that's why you have to come to the conference. Without the knowledge, you're gonna get frustrated. You know, without the roadmap, you're gonna get frustrated. That happened to me. I didn't know what to do, and I got frustrated, and I battled so hard. I wish I had, you know, someone like Brandon. I wish I had someone like myself now, with the things I've learned, and you know, other connections. Or maybe I did, but I didn't even like think about it as of like that. And if you don't have any connections, you just gotta go to more of this. Go to the next one we're gonna do. Go to the next one that you see around, that it looks like a really good one. Like, this one is gonna be a really, really good one. And then you're gonna get more plus ones. You're gonna get a plus one army, and you're gonna be unstoppable, because anything that you want to know, you go and ask. The last two webinars that I did, which by the way, we had Matt Smith. And one thing, man, that I wanted to say before I forget is Matt Smith, he's super rich, guys. He's the guy who helped Grant Cardone to get to, I'm not going to tell you the goal because I hate spoilers. So what he did in the show, but he helped Grant Cardone to reach his goal and beyond. Okay. So what he was so inspired, and he's super rich, and he was so inspired of seeing all of our young faces and not so young faces, but like people that were grinding and they were all excited because you're excited. You're starting a journey and you're excited. And he's already like, I've gotten some success, and and then he sees us, and then he's like, man, this is awesome. And he didn't want to leave. I was very respectful about his time. I don't know if you remember that, Brandon, but he was like, man, I felt like I was like getting him out of the call, and that wasn't my intention. And he actually stick around a little bit, and he was listening to Brandon, I think, because he was like inspired. He's like, oh man, this energy, like it's great. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm getting chills because it's really inspiring and it's awesome, So come to the event; it's gonna be amazing. Is there any chance, Brandon, that they can get a VIP ticket, or there's none?
I mean, if they reach out to me today, we can figure something out. Yeah, but it would have to be like today, because we have a lot of people. We have like 65 people at that dinner.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So if you reach out to me today, we'll figure out a way to get you into that dinner.
Beautiful. And the dinner is going to be with the speakers, okay? Brandon, me, and all the other 8 guys, and other successful people that are in the same journey than you, that you're probably, like Brandon and I we met, and we're pushing each other. So it's really cool because we're pushing each other. And if I grow a lot, I know he's going to be like, shit, I can't, like, I gotta work harder, because look at Jose, like he's killing it. And I feel the same way, like I just put my book on Amazon, and that was because of this guy. And of course, my other friend, Edwin Dearborn, that I see them doing all these books, all this stuff. And I'm like, shit. And it's not too, and I know they work really hard as well. Like they're not just hanging out and doing books and relaxing. Like, no, you go to this dude's Instagram and you'll see what I'm talking about. To Brandon's Instagram, and follow him, by the way, please, and everything, and subscribe to his YouTube channel too. I'm gonna leave it in the description. But thank you so much, Brandon. God bless you, man. God bless everyone that has been until the end with us. You're the best. People say thank you, guys. That sounds awesome. Thank you for sharing, and you're incredible. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you next. Okay, thank you. Bye, Brandon. Thank you, man.
All right, see you later. Take care.